This is Rod Kusin, Spooman for Risk on June 23rd. We are looking for a short in here, and at the moment, though, we are long. We're expecting that this market might make it to 38.50, but as it succeeded. Pardon me. It succeeded yesterday to just barely make it there. We have kind of a repeat. We went down to 28 yesterday. We didn't make it to 28 today as of yet. And this being potentially a blue type day. We need to get up there and hit this high and start coming down strong. But as blue days typically work, it's either the morning that hits both the high and the low, or it's the afternoon. And thus far, what we see is that this market is moving from a low to a high for the morning at least. And that's not typical of a blue day. Because if we get that, it would have to really start to tank in the morning. And usually what we see happen is that both the highs and the lows take place in the morning. At least that's the way it's been. Now it could happen in the morning or in the afternoon. But pattern kind of suggests that this should take place in the morning. So I was thinking that what was going to happen here is that we would just tank into the lows. Out of the gate this morning, but instead it turned and we're going the other way. So we're going to take advantage of that and ride this thing a little higher. And hopefully take it up past the high in the morning thus far. So we will see. But overall, we're looking for a short because for this to be a red week down, then the lows ought to be in the afternoon. So typically that would mean the highs would be somewhere in the morning. So we're beginning to take off a little bit here. Now it's interesting that we've got range bars here. But we've got range bars here and there. And we're expecting this thing to drop again. And this, which is kind of interesting, when we came down here to 35.50 originally, that's where premium was. And then we moved up a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and then a little bit lower still. But still higher than it was at the beginning, but not by much. Okay. All right, so there's the range bar there. But really, we want to see this thing take off. So what we're expecting is for this to breach 37.50. Try to test the upper value area at 38.50. And 37. Yeah, 38.50. And then start looking for short. All right, might be on the way up right now. And this nice premium. we'll come back. Okay, we just broke 37.50. See if we can take it up there. Now we're back to the high on SPY as well. Now we gotta watch this real carefully. Made it to 75. Okay, we're gonna exit this thing. But we've got a new high on the premium. Well, let's put that as a context. At 35, it's not as high here, so it's a spike up, but it's still a bit divergent. All right, let's test this out. All right, 241 there. Okay, we want this thing to get away from us here. Okay, we're still higher. make sure about that. Yeah, it's 241. So we were a little higher yet. So we may test a little bit more. Oh yeah. Look at how high that premium spike there. I don't think we're done. I do not think we are done. It's gonna what? It's gonna go up another tick. This is about to go up. 38.50. Let's keep that in mind. Here we go. $38.25. Okay, Okay. Go out to 38.25. Selling has begun. Selling has begun. Yep, there. Yep, there. 38.50. 38.50. Okay. Okay. Spy is proud. Spy is proud. Going higher. Going higher. Not selling yet. Not selling yet. Not on spine. Not on spine. Not much buying either. Not much buying either. I think we'll get one more test. One more test out of this. Okay, that may very well been it. Very well been it. Let's move up here. Move up here. Premium did go higher. Did go higher. And somewhat suggests that should be tested. That should be tested. But there was a fair amount. There was a fair amount of selling in there. Now that's not confirmed. That's not confirmed. Quite read where he comes up with 1276 when the matrix shows only 124. We'll have to give. Have to ask. Have to a little bit about that. A little bit about that. Because that doesn't. That doesn't quite agree. Doesn't quite agree. So there it is. So there it is. All right, we'll come back and see. We'll come back and see if this thing really begins to plunge. It's very interesting. It's very interesting where Spy went. We had indicated this level. 243.48. Based on that list. It'll move up in here. And the last tick up. On the 22nd. That looked about right. That's thus far where this has started to come down. And we shall see. Whether this continues. Now, by all rights, the pattern that has emerged here looks very much red up. That's what it looks like. Because the lows were in the first 30 minutes. However, However, this is a red week down, and therefore as late as it is in the morning, 11:42 Central Time. This cannot be a blue pattern. All right. Well, it can be a blue pattern. It can be a blue pattern if we don't hit a new low. Now we don't go any higher. In the afternoon. But instead, what might happen is that we'll get another yellow type pattern, which is similar to what we have here. With a high, yesterday's high right there. Yeah. There's a 12:30 with a corresponding move down, which fails to hit a new low, and a yellow day pattern will typically yellow day down. The afternoon low will exceed the morning low. It's kind of rare for that not to happen. So we could somewhat imagine the follow through takes place in the following morning, which is today. Leaving this with a pattern. But again, I don't follow logic. It's been interesting that it's worked out somewhat like the rotation that is often to take place. But all the same, I don't really follow it. But the color of the week is interesting to me, and it does appear that we may be in for a yellow day down, where we begin to see robust selling in the afternoon, exceeding the morning low. That would be the true yellow day pattern. As it turns out, this pattern really ends up being more green than it does yellow. But it's a green that fails to hit a high in the afternoon when it should. It should have been hitting close to 1 o'clock, but instead by 1:30, this thing has started to tank. Okay. All right. So anyway, we'll just have to give this some time and see how this market begins to anticipating as a drop to a new low in the afternoon. That's what we think will happen here. We shall see. Well, we have now seen another attempt at the high, which failed. And now the final attempt to try to bring this market down. Everything is looking very red up, unlike what has probably been called a blue day. Thus far, it is proven to be red up. So we will see. Well, now things have shaped up just a little bit differently. So once again, let's just look at how this has played out. This was our low. This was our low. And we managed to get a high. We managed to get a high. Tested the high. Tested the high. Here. Shortly after 1 o'clock. And now we're heading back down. And now we're heading back down. Kind of expected that this might turn out this way. But whether or not we will hit it, low this afternoon, a low this afternoon, story. If we do, it'll be a yellow day pattern. And on that basis, pretty interesting week. So we will just take further advantage of short and see if we can do a little better. We still have an area of repair right in here. So potential retracement up that way. But we'll continue to watch. Let's take a look at the premium. As this started to occur. All right, so we had that low on the premiums, then we got divergent finally over here. Actually, it was just right into 1 o'clock. And then premiums started to move up. Move higher. Big divergence there. A more robust drop here. So I think we've still got some room to go down. We're going to take advantage of it. Well,
Hospital, but he's still too traumatized to talk about the ordeal. We spoke to his emotional parents about what's going on.
Oh, boy. Sad.
Gilbert Reyes broke down in tears as he talked about the moment his 8-year-old son Jonah was hit by a car.
I saw that car jump the curb, coming straight for me and my daughter. And I grabbed her, and I moved her out the side.
There wasn't enough time to get to Jonah.
And so now, as we go into the last 15 minutes, we see the move back up. That pretty well says it all. This particular kind of day. This is not going to turn into a patterned day of either blue or yellow. As it turns out, this is green. And we say that because the low of the day. Let's just verify. Let's make sure. All right, this is a really bizarre day. Okay. I don't know what to call this day. But here's a real quick lesson on pattern. If the best entry is in the first half hour, the best exit is typically in the last half hour. That would mean that the exit of the long trade should have really taken place in the last half hour. Now, the caveat to that is both the low and the high of the day are in the first half of the day. Now, in some respects, that is what has happened. The blue day pattern a high has resulted in a at 11:35 at 11:35 on a 5-minute chart. That same high was tested later on, but we did not go lower. Okay, and that is a typical blue day pattern, where the low and the high of the day occur either both in the morning or both in the afternoon. And in this particular case, it took place in the morning. It took place in the morning. The rest of the day, we get a higher high or a lower low. What's happened here? So it has turned out to be blue. But what it hasn't turned out to be is a real lower low taking place in the latter part of the day. Which would really be a true red type pattern, and it just hasn't. That didn't materialize. So based upon let's pull this up. Based upon our pattern here, the real low at 28 in the overnight market. In fact, we hit it. On the 21st. Tested in the night of the 22nd. We didn't go lower. Go lower here. And this morning, we didn't make it into the low of the week. So it didn't really materialize. That form that it was cracked up to be. So with that thought in mind, we'll just recap at the close to see if anything out of the ordinary takes place. And there you are at the close. So once again, it turned out to be blue. With a high and a low, in the first part of the first half of the day, the second half of the day, and either goes higher or lower. That's a blue day. The high and low can be either in the morning or afternoon. Typically in the morning. But that's how it turned out. That's our video for today.